Okay guys, so this cylinder is ready to mount onto our YZ project. So I'm going to just check the piston to cylinder clearance real quick, just an eyeball check. I'm not even going to use any gauges. Then I'm going to check the ring end gap. All right, so I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to use the cylinder bore gauge and go through all that process because I'm sure that this is correct. But I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here. I'm going to drop the piston down in here and just see what it feels like. All right, it definitely has some clearance. It's not too tight, so that's good enough. I'm not going to double check all their work. All right, so these rings, I'm going to stick one of them in. You just put it part way in the cylinder. Use your piston to level it out in there. Push down just a hair. Then you need to measure the gap, the ring end gap. And actually, I'm not even going to use my feeler gauges because I can see that it's got plenty of gap. It actually looks a little on the big side, and I don't care about that. And the reason is these two-stroke cylinders are full of holes that the rings go past to seal. So, you know, they leak compression all the way up the stroke. And it's got plenty of gap there as well. So this is definitely safe. Some guys would obsess about that extra ring end gap. I really don't care because I know that that's not going to make any difference. I'm going to install the rings real quick. The rings have a little N on them here. Some rings might even have a different letter, but the letter always goes up. And these rings, I believe, are a flat style. Let me just double check here. Yeah, that's a flat ring. And that's a flat ring. So what I'm doing here is if it was a, I forget what they're called, keystone rings, or you know, the rings that are angled, when you put them in between jaws of a caliper, you can rock the ring back and forth because the ring's not flat. It's got an angle on one side. So I'm going to double check the letter. Although I don't think, because it's a flat ring, there's technically not an up or a down. So I don't even know why they bother to put markings on them, but because they can go either way. All right, and they fit nice on the piston. You know, there's not any stickiness to them or anything. So I believe that that is ready to go. And so we're going to mount this on the engine and start on that process of putting the motor back together. Okay guys, so I put a little bit of oil on this needle bearing here. You can put some down here too if you want. Probably not necessary. If this motor's been running, it probably still has some residue on it, but you can do it. Makes you feel good. These are the main bearing holes. You can put oil in there too if you want, but I guarantee you it's going to smoke like a booger when you start it up and possibly foul a plug. Okay, so now I'm going to stick the piston kit on. I've got the circlip on the left side. There we go. You can put lubricant in here on this pin too if you want, but it doesn't really need it. I mean, like, as soon as you move that Kickstarter, it sucks in a fog of two-stroke premix. All right, so now that's in. It needs a circlips in there, so I'm always going to stuff this full. You definitely want to put rags down around here when you're dealing with these circlips. You do not want one of those down in your cases. Probably can fish it out with a magnet, but maybe not. So now we don't have easy clips for this motor, so we've got to use these stock clips, which I don't care for, but I'm going to start by putting this end right here in the groove. And I'm going to use this as a pry tool, and there's a little cutout here in the piston. I'm going to use that as my pry point. Okay. So as I'm prying, I'm also pushing with my thumb. Now I'm checking to make sure it's in the groove all the way, and it's not. So let's get it in there all the way. There we go. It's definitely in there now. Okay. Cylinder's ready to go on. Okay, now two-stroke pistons have what's called ring locating pins. So there's a pin here and a pin right over there. And the rings, the ends of the rings have to be where those pins are. If they're not, the ring is going to be out on top of that pin. And if you try to force it together that way, you're going to destroy the piston, you're going to damage the rings, possibly even damage the cylinder. So let's make sure that we've got those lined up. Okay, so the cylinder's ready to go on. I've got the new V-Force 4 reeds in it. We've got these little side pieces on. You can put lubricant on this piston if you want. You can just use any kind of oil you want, or two-stroke oil. I'm going to put this together dry because, like I said before, as soon as you touch the Kickstarter, it fogs this whole thing with a premix. Where else was I going with? Oh, and then this dark coating on here is a Teflon coating. That's actually designed just to help with break-in so that they don't scuff in the first few hours of their life. So you don't have to worry about that. It's a break-in material. I'm going to line up the rings here. I use my left hand to squeeze them. We don't use ring squeezers typically on two strokes. Let's see if I can even get this together here. Okay, and the cylinder should just fall on like that. If it doesn't, if you have to force it down, you've got something wrong. So, and the dowel pins only go on these right side studs, the two right side studs. Okay, so the cylinder's on. I'm going to hold it with my hand. And that little squeaking noise you heard there, that's the reeds. So the cylinder nuts are ready to go on. You can do it over there, Trace, if you want. And you can do these in an X pattern if you want. On the cylinder with these gigantic studs, I don't really feel like it matters. But if it blows your skirt up, go ahead and do them in an X pattern. And I'm using this Slavens right arm torque wrench. You can figure out a way to use a torque wrench on there if you want, but I think it's a total waste of time. Tighten the hell out of them. They're big studs. Okay, from there, we're going to put the head on. So I'm going to put these little pins back in here. Like I mentioned before, these just kind of guide the gasket to keep it in the exact right place. If you happen to lose one, don't get stressed out. If it's a Friday night and you're trying to get to a race, just put it together. And this is a two-piece gasket, which I don't know if I'm that excited about. We're going to see what the compression is and decide. So I might end up taking this head back off and getting rid of one of the layers. Oh, didn't go like that. How does it go? Weird, they've got those things sticking out to the sides. So the stock uses an O-ring, two O-rings, but I don't really care for this, but I mean, this is a good strong gasket. It's never going to fail. But we're going to see what the compression's like here, and we might take this head back off and make some changes. So these we will do in a X pattern. We'll just snug them down, and then I'll get out the torque wrench so you torqueaholics can have a little cardiac event. Okay, guys, I'm going to torque these. I didn't look up the spec. I'm not going to look up the spec because I know it's an 8mm stud into aluminum, so I know that the torque spec is between 18 and 20 foot-pounds. I'm going to set it at 19. I'm going to use one of our digital torque wrenches. And for all you guys that are not professional mechanics, you know, your basic backyard tuner, I highly recommend that you use either a digital or the old, what's that called, bar type?
Yeah, pointer.
Pointer, they've got a pointer on them.
Or some sort.
For amateur mechanics or backyard guys, I do not think it's a good idea to use a clicker style torque wrench. They're hard to feel. Some of them have got a really definite feel, some of them got a really light feel. I've seen lots of guys pull studs right out of cylinders because they couldn't feel it and they just kept on going. So I highly recommend you either do a digital or one of those, whatever they're called, the old Craftsman style that has a needle on it. Either one of those work fine for this, but the clicker type are dangerous. So I'm going to go up to about 12 foot-pounds first. I'm doing this in X pattern here. Okay, now I'm going to go to 19. Bam. Okay, that part's done, guys. It's ready for the rest of the assembly here. I'm going to reorganize just a little bit. If you have any questions or comments, you can post them down below in the video. So get out for some throttle therapy. That's all for now.